Check out carmarshal.com. The link is in the description. They help support us.
Good evening. The APD officer being sued for speeding through an intersection and killing a young boy is now suing that boy's mother, saying the crash was all her fault.
In the lawsuit, Albuquerque police officer Jonathan McDonald claims the crash has caused him emotional distress and mental anguish. News 13's Jackie Kent is live at Indian School in Eubank with the story. Jackie?
Jessica Dean, the officer, was doing almost 80 before entering the intersection here, but says it was the mom who was driving carelessly when she turned in front of him.
The little boy was non-responsive. We couldn't get a pulse on him.
It was a tragic scene at Eubank and Indian School last April. A family's car totaled, hit by APD officer Jonathan McDonald, who officials say was going double the speed limit when responding to a call. Antoinette Suing and her 2 kids inside.
Mom was still in the front seat crying, telling us to get our kids out.
6-year-old Joel Anthony Muma died at the hospital the next day.
He was in love and loved everything. He saw the good in everyone. My sweet Bubba's will live on.
Now Officer McDonald is suing the grieving mother for the crash. The lawsuit states Suing drove carelessly and negligently, failing to yield to his emergency vehicle. As a result, McDonald, who broke a leg in the crash, claims he suffered physical and emotional distress, and that the ordeal strained his relationship with his wife and 3 kids. It's a response to Suing's January lawsuit against McDonald and the city, claiming Officer McDonald was driving recklessly to that call. The Sheriff's Department investigated the crash and say he was doing 80 before he slammed onto the brakes and slammed into Suing's car at 67 miles an hour as she made a left turn in front of him. They both had green lights. Suing's attorney Rachel Higgins says Suing could not have done anything to avoid the crash.
She was deemed by investigating police to not have made any driving error.
APD says McDonald is still on light duty because of his injuries from the crash. That means he's doing admin work and is not driving. Also, APD's internal affairs case is still under review. Jessica, back to you.
All right, thank you, Jackie. Officer McDonald had already had 5 preventable crashes since joining APD in 2008. APD policy doesn't touch on speeding through intersections, only saying it's an officer's duty to drive with due regard for other safety, regardless of the emergency.
Cop suing mother of 6-year-old boy he killed, because it caused him emotional distress. An Albuquerque police officer is suing the mother of the child he killed when he sped through town going twice the legal rate of speed because it is causing him emotional distress. By Jack Burns, March 10, 2018. Albuquerque NM. It wasn't Albuquerque police officer Jonathan McDonald's first accident. It wasn't even his second or third. It was his 5th. But when his police cruiser struck the car in which Antoinette Suing and her children were riding, this time, McDonald's actions killed a child. But instead of sending condolences, incredulously, Officer McDonald decided to sue Ms. Suing because killing her child caused him emotional distress. McDonald was responding to a call when he decided to travel double the speed limit in April of 2017. When the car in which Suing and her children were riding made a left-hand turn, they were T-boned by the officer. Suing's 6-year-old son, Joel Anthony Muma, suffered grave injuries and died the following day. She said of her son, "He was in love and loved everyone." The Bernalillo County Sheriff's Office investigated the crash and determined he was going more than 80 miles per hour before slamming on brakes and slamming into Suing's car at 67 miles per hour. The officer broke a leg in the accident and said in a lawsuit the accident has caused him emotional distress and strained his marriage and relationship with his kids. The suit is believed to be a response to Suing's own lawsuit against the police department and the city of Albuquerque. McDonald claims the accident has taken a toll on his family and says it was all Suing's fault to begin with. The lawsuit states the mother failed to yield to his emergency vehicle, but the police department found no such fault with her driving. On April 17, 2017, McDonald says he was responding to a call about a man with a machete threatening another person who'd called police. The lawsuit states Suna failed to yield the right-of-way and the accident occurred. The death of Suna's son was caught on camera and shows the officer's police cruiser plowing through the intersection and coming to a stop. The posted speed limit at the intersection of Indian School and Eubanks is 35 miles per hour. McDonald's squad car was traveling double the posted speed, making the accident almost entirely preventable had the officer chosen a safe speed instead of excessively speeding through such a busy part of town. Unfortunately, since 2008, McDonald has been involved in 5 accidents the police department stated were preventable. Suna has hardly been allowed to grieve the fact her son is no longer living than the officer and his lawyers are dragging her into court. Suna's attorney, Rachel Higgins, said her client was not cited or charged in connection with the accident which took the life of her child. She was deemed by investigating police to not have made any driving error, Higgins said. It's unclear if the city of Albuquerque is involved in any way, such as putting pressure on the officer to sue. At any rate, not only did a New Mexico mother lose her child in a tragic and horrific car accident, the man, a police officer, is now suing her in a civil suit, attempting to get money out of a situation he caused. There seems to be a disconnect between how the public views police officers who speed through town, and how officers consider their high rates of speed as being entirely legal and justified. Not only do they risk the lives of citizens by speeding to crime or accident scenes, but in some cases kill people when they do so. It's not the first time TFTP has reported on speeding cops. And believe it or not, vehicular accidents are the leading cause of death for the 1 million sworn officers of the peace in the U.S. While police and police officers' unions would like the police to believe there exists a war on cops, there is no data to suggest such a phenomenon. It's more dangerous for police officers who are responding in their vehicles to calls for backup, than it is for them to be confronted with someone suspected of being armed. From 2011 to 2015, 167 officers died in automobile accidents. Almost 50%, 49%, of the officers killed in those automobile accidents died in single-car accidents, their own, presumably from driving recklessly or going too fast. The real question is, what is the Albuquerque Police Department going to do now? If an average citizen had as many car accidents in a 10-year period of time, that person's car insurance would likely be so high the person would not be able to afford to drive. In McDonald's case, the city's insurance pays for his misdeeds. But will they keep McDonald on administrative duty or give him back his keys and let him go back to work? He's currently serving desk duty while he recovers from his broken leg injuries.
County, this is Sheriff County Cop Watch, and I wanted to explain what fair use is. You can use pieces of news articles if you're doing it for news reporting, you have commentary, and you're doing it for education purposes. So that's what fair use is, as you can see right here. Another reason why I wanted to make this video is to let you know I have just joined with Patreon. A nice thing with Patreon, I make no money on YouTube. They took the money away years ago, and so this is another way to give, and it's a nice thing too, because you can give monthly. You can give $1, $5, $10, whatever. I do 4 to 5 hours a day on trying to wake the sheeple up on how corrupt it is and different ways that you can fight the corruption. So Patreon is a way that you can do it, and then of course the old way is still there. Donate to Sheriff County Cop Watch with PayPal or credit card. So keep that in mind. 4 to 5 hours a day. I make no money, but the corruption happened to me and I'm sick of it, so I'm trying to wake people up. But my wife would love it if if we could get some help out there. There's 47,000 subscribers. Just think if each one of you subscribers just gave let's say actually yes, $1 a month. 47,000 subscribers gave $1 a month. That would be awesome. That's not going to happen. But anyways, that would be great if it did happen. But do the math in your head. Just think about it. Like I said, 4 to 5 hours a day. I get no money from YouTube. YouTube has gone nuts. You can't do anything anymore. They're taking the money away everywhere. So these are a couple different ways that you can still help out with all this time that I put in. And as you know, I'm in a special situation where, at least I can do it, 4 to 5 hours a day. We have a cleaning company during the day. That's what allows me to do this, and we're debt free. So this is my hobby. I don't go fishing and all that other crap. I try to save the world. So help me out to make the wife happy, man. In fact, if you guys did give $1 a day, and there was 47,000 of you, and you did it, and each of you gave $1, and that was every month, oh my God, yes, I could quit. I could start suing them. Another idea too that we have is, if I got some funds, we could actually contact everyone that has been ticketed and or arrested and put in jail and start sending them postcards to let them know we're here, and to see if everything went all right, and if it didn't, find out their story. So we could even do more investigations and more lawsuits. Lawsuits take money. So just think about that. 47,000 of you so far right now. $1 a day. $1 a month on Patreon, or $5 a month Patreon, 10, 20, whatever. Just do the math in your head. Help out. This is a lot of work every single day. Thanks.